How's it going, everyone? This is Marco once again here on my journey and process in joining the California Army National Guard, particularly in the OCS program. As I mentioned in my earlier videos, I did graduate BCT, also known as boot camp or basic combat training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. My graduation date was on December 19th of 2022, and right now I am back home in California awaiting, my further process in OCS. So yeah, as I mentioned in my last videos, I did my unraveling of my 2 duffel bags. I finished off with my rucksack, and as I mentioned, I will be going further into my rucksack, which contain more of, my study materials and small items that were at boot camp. And the reason I'm making this video right now is because I just got done with one of my meetings with one of my Sergeant First Class and processing me out in the RSP and going into a new base as RSPO. As you can see, I got a lot of paperwork right here. Once again, paperwork doesn't stop, especially once you are an OCS candidate or an officer. For more details on that, all I know so far is, once you go from enlisted side to officer side, such as second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, and so on, it's more, as a lot of people say, it's more as a management position where you're doing more of the paperwork, more than, the fun stuff of being hands-on as an enlisted side. But as to continue is, I do have my next drill for my OCS, which is being changed from where I was currently at to a new base, and I will need certain materials and certain items such as my rucksack that I will be taking to drill, what I've been told. So that's why I want to make this video before I take many things out and stuff like that. That way you guys can see what I had in there, and then of course the stuff that they will provide you, and most of the time I believe now they'll allow you to keep. So let's get started. And like I said, let me put this paperwork away. All right. So apparently there's a new thing to start off with is the rucksack. Prior to my arrival there, apparently they used to issue the rucksack, and then prior to graduation, you would turn in your rucksack with all your other equipment, such as, like I mentioned, your heavy duty vest, your flick, your helmet, your sleeping bags. So certain things that they issued you while you're at BCT, you will turn in and before graduation, before leaving. If you do not, they will charge you. They say that they'll take it out of your pay. If you end up losing or possibly damaging something by, negligence or something like that, that you're responsible for it and you will be charged for it. But now apparently now the rucksack is now yours per the keeping after BCT. So let's get started on my rucksack. And like I mentioned, my rucksack is approximately, like I said, about 2.5 feet tall. And throughout our rucks, they average between 20 to 40 pounds with all the stuff in there, with all the equipment that you need, all your clothes, gear, equipment. And then that didn't include the water stuff, such as your water supplies. But it was around approximately 20 to 40 pounds, according to the forms that they give you. For the forms that I'm talking about and the approximates is because Jackson, South Carolina, you do 3 rugs. The first one is called the Hammer, which is a 1-night, 2-day event. Then you have the Antvil, and the Antvil is supposed to be a 2-night, 3 days. And then the main one, which is after that, which will be the Forge. And then after the Forge, it's pretty much you're completed with BCT and you're pretty much on your way of graduating. That one is a 3-night, 4-day thing. And then, of course, the miles that you ruck increase as you go. I believe it was 5 miles for the Hammer, 7.5 for the Antvil, and then it was 10 miles for the Forge. The difference is with the Forge, at least for us, I'm not sure if anyone else was different. Ours was a 10-mile ruck there, And then on our 4th day coming back, it was a straight 10 miles from there. For the first one, it's not a direct 10 miles. It's broken down into a couple miles. Then you do a task, ruck another couple miles, do another task, and so on. And then you complete pretty much your 10 miles. And then when you finish off your 4th day, it is a direct 10 miles from where you were at to back to your company. That's the way mine was. If yours was any different, or if you guys didn't have it, or you guys did something differently, please let us know and drop down your comments. What I also heard is it's also only a Fort Jackson, South Carolina thing that does the rucks. I'm not sure how valid that is. So please, if you went to BCT in Fort Benning, or if you did a BCT at some other base, please let us know. That was the rumor. I find that hard to believe, but you never know. But yeah, let's continue, and I'll show you what's inside the remainder of my ruck. All right, so here's my rucksack. It does have a lot of pockets and compartments. There was a smaller one that I initially had. One of my battle buddies did not like this one because apparently it got too heavy and it was too bulky. So I ended up trading with him, which I preferred because this had way more room in here. As you can see, I'll open this up right here. And I'll start taking this out. As you can see, it does go deep in there. Like I said, here's my pair of boots. There's one. You'll get 2 containers. These are for water containers. There you go. Here's my other pair of boots. And look how wide it is. So yes, it goes deep down in here. There's nothing else down here. That's pretty much all I put in there for my packing. So that way I could, get my packing and be on my way after graduation and be able to leave. Here is the top of it. Just like this. It goes, these clamp on down to this one. It tightens, it like makes it tighter. So that way you don't have to worry about it too much. And it, when you're a good height at least, because my battle buddy that had this initially, he was about 5'5" or so. And he thought it was pretty bulky. I'm around 5'10". And for me, it was, I enjoyed it. I believe a lot more taller people will enjoy this one rather than the other one. But there was a few people that were a lot smaller that enjoyed it, but not as much because, it is pretty big and bulky. And the funny part was the thing that at first we didn't like was when we got issued these, it was mainly people that were around, I would say probably 5'6" and, shorter that ended up getting issued this kind of ruck, which was the bigger one. Anyone that was taller, such as myself, and even one of my other battle buddies, he's 6'5", he ended up getting the smaller one. Which, at the same time, it's nice because, it is, the smaller one was a lot easier to carry in a sense, but it felt more like a backpack, let alone fitting certain things in here. In the smaller one, they called it the medium ruck. This is called the larger ruck. The medium ruck was a lot difficult to store things in there, let alone take things out and put them back in. So that was the pain in it. From my last video, that sleeping mat, like I mentioned, this is where I had it connected. It'll be outside of your ruck, of course. It'll be just like this. Put your sleeping mat in between here, and then you're carrying it the whole way. And then all I had to do was, obviously, once it's clipped on, it was not going to move from this place. So all I did was I just laid it down. I had my mat right here, and say my sleeping bag's right here. I would literally lay my head right here and use it as a pillow. This is where my sleeping mat was, the inflatable one. All right, so here we go. Open it up. This is also what I enjoyed. Another sack right here. Oh, here you go. Here's the other gloves that you will be used. These are mainly the gloves that you will be utilizing the most. These are your black gloves. The other ones that I mentioned that were in my Ziploc bag are pretty much similar to these, except these are black. The other ones are green. And then the difference is the other ones are like the tactical gloves, so they're thinner. These are like the thick gloves. So the only thing I hated about wearing these is because I prefer only wearing these. They call them inserts. I call them mittens. I really don't care. However, these keep me warm. But while you're there, you have to have this, and then this one on. You cannot have just this one on. You have to have both of them on. And for some reason, putting these things on, my hands were even colder, so I really hated them. But if you loved them, let me know. Unless I was putting them on wrong, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory to put these on and then this one on. But like I said, these always kept my hands cold. These by themselves, phenomenal. I loved it. All right. This is your black beanie. This is mainly when you'll be wearing when you're at PT for the most part. I don't believe I ever wore this while I was wearing my OCPs, but I could be wrong because most of the time it was our PC, which is our camo hat. But other than that, I wore this for our PTs and sometimes at night. And according to what they said while I was there, I remember what I heard is you'll be wearing the gloves and beanies and like winter PTs is when it's like 33 degrees or colder. If it's anything hotter than 33 degrees, you will not be wearing these. But once again, it just depends on your drill sergeant and your first sergeant. All right. Oh, this is... I was actually surprised that I was able to keep this, but they told us that we were able to keep it. This is a camel, like a cover. This one goes over your ACH, which is your helmet. Your army, I believe it stands for Army Combat Helmet or something like that. There are so many acronyms for so many equipments that we had. I called it whatever it was. I called it a helmet, but it was called the ACH for the most part. But this is a cover for it. They allowed us to keep that. And oh yeah, like I mentioned, here's elbow and knee pads. Knee pads, elbow pads. Here's padding for your ACH. The paddings. This is another laundry bag, mainly for when you're out, out in the woods and stuff. Never really utilized that at all. Here's your Warrior Skills Level Book. And your Warrior Skills Level Book, it'll give you some study materials on, shooting, grenades, land navigation. I looked at it a few times, but a lot of stuff here is all really confusing. I'm more of a person that enjoys being able to see it and or do it myself because I'm more of a hands-on person. I cannot really read it and understand what that really means unless I see it or I even get the opportunity to do it. That's the way I learn. But if you learn differently and you learn by reading, feel free to let me know. And, this is a book they'll give you. And that's pretty much it for that. As you can see, there's a good sized bag in there, or pocket, whatever you like to call it. Here's your wipes. Like I mentioned, these are just regular moist wipes, unscented. They have 120 in here, according to what they say. This also came in your hygiene bag. That big brown bag that I showed you guys on my last video. I did not use all of them. Many people used it to go to the restroom at the bay. I don't know why when we had toilet paper. I'm pretty sure people should know that these are mainly supposed to be while you're out in the woods. And obviously you're not really taking showers. You're taking more of a bird bath, and that's what these are supposed to be meant for. So use them as you please, but that's on you guys. Because if you're out in the woods, these are very convenient. All right, that's it for that pocket. Here's a bottom pocket as well. That one's already emptied out. Yeah, this one's emptied out as well. Alright, so this is for land nav. As you can see, land nav was pretty self-explanatory. I enjoyed the land nav. I wish we did get more training, or at least hands-on training, because when we did the hands-on training, we only did it for like about 2 hours, and it was very convenient. I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people were lost and everything, but it's a fun experience. I enjoyed it. We worked all in a group of 5s, so that was fun. This is pretty much for land navigation. That's what the string is for. If you like, I can make a video on what the string is for. Why we use this type of protractor. But let me know if you guys want more information on land navigation. This is moleskin. I really didn't use it at all. This was mainly kept in my locker, and anyone that needed it or needed some type of moleskin, I provided them some sheets. People ran out like crazy out there. People got blisters left and right. So, if your feet are that sensitive, start walking. That way you're strong for BCT. If not, learn how to properly tie your boots, because that's probably one of the main things is how people get blisters is they do not know how to tie their boots. I know there's many different ways of tying boots, but try to find something that your feet are not rubbing so much inside the boot, because that's the one that will cause you blisters throughout your time at BCT. And that's my light. I'll go more into detail on that shortly. Straps. That's it for that. Because the light is one of your most important things. Another one, they said that this and this. So these two things were meant for a radio. So I'm not sure they issued it to us. They allowed us to keep it for some reason. But while we were at BCT, we didn't get to utilize any radio whatsoever. Let alone we didn't use these at all. They stayed in my locker for the whole entire time. So that's all I use them for. If you know how to use them, or if I later find out how to use them, I'll shoot another video on that. But if you know how to use them, or what these things are, or how to properly connect them, obviously they're mollies, so I'm not talking about how to put them on your equipment, but what type of radios or something like that, feel free to let us know. Drop down the comment and let us know on what you guys think, or how this really is combined. This is my chin strap. This is a chin strap that you get to keep for your ACH. See, it's right here. That's pretty much a good picture of your helmet. It's pretty much just this side of type of the helmet. Comes with the 4 types of brackets, chin strap. Pretty much what they told us when we got issued our stuff, anything that touches your skin, you're going to keep. So that's why we got to keep our chin straps. Just like this. Like I said, the reason I kept mine was because I'm going to need it for OCS and possibly later on in my military career. Same thing with your helmet cushion, because these cushions right here are the ones that go underneath your helmet, And then that's the stuff that padding right here is the one that makes it easier for you to be able to carry your helmet on your head without it hurting. So that's what the padding's for. Padding touches your skin. Obviously, you're going to keep that. And then the only thing you're doing is cleaning or wiping the inside of it. Then you turn in the helmet, and then that's pretty much it. All right, this is your light. All right, it has a clear light and a red light. The red light is probably the one that you're going to use the most. So you got that one, it gets brighter, you turn it off. Then if you hold it, you got your white light, and then it gets brighter, and then it turns off as well. So like I said, this one is really useful. You will have to buy this at the PX. This is very convenient. The reason you have this is for your head, because this goes over your head, and then now you use it as a regular headlight or headlamp. And you'll definitely use it throughout your time as a fire guard, because all the lights are out, so it's going to be very dark. So if you want to see, this is what you're going to need. Like I said, most of the time you're going to be using your red light. This is, very convenient. Try not to lose this. I thought I was going to lose it. See, my name's on it as well right there. It's pretty much faded. Try not to lose this. These are kind of pricey. I believe I got this for about $50 or something like that. I don't recall, but I'll try to remember. And if I do, I know I got the receipt somewhere, I believe, and I'll try to put the price tag somewhere around here. These are kind of pricey, but it's very convenient. Everyone had one. Many people lost it. I know other bays got theirs stolen. So that's what I meant. Just make sure, even when you label it, people will try to steal it. Like I said, I didn't have that issue with my platoon or bay. 90% of the time, my locker was always unlocked. And most of the time, it was actually opened as well. I did try to stay near my locker, because if a drill sergeant walked in and saw my locker and I wasn't what they say arm's reach away, they will literally go to your locker and throw all your stuff out. So this is very convenient. All right. These are your blue book. Heating pads. Your blue book contains all the materials that you'll learn, such as the Soldier's Creed. I can't even get it out. Soldier's Creed, Army Song, the values. You will utilize this one probably the most compared to the other book, the Warriors Skills book. They'll issue you mouthpieces. Mouthpieces are kind of convenient, especially when you're going to do the pugils. That's the only time I really needed it, except when we did our obstacles, such as the confidence course. Here is face paint. Face paint is the same thing. Let me try to open it up for you guys. There you go. It's a little sticker mirror. And then you'll have green, brown, white, and black. So you'll utilize this a lot, especially while you're out on the field during your rucks. So right here, I got my pins. These are my specialists. You get your U.S. Army tags, and then your last names, your names through your uniforms and your hats. And then it's just mainly little stuff now, which is pretty much the same stuff. This is for your dog tags. Never received my dog tags whatsoever. Another one, this is for your uniform. You'll place this on the center of your chest on your OCPs. Once again, that's a specialist sign. That's my rank. And then this is just your dog tags that I never got issued. Many of us did not get issued it. But so you can see, you got your chain. For some reason, I don't know what this thing is. It comes inside of it, but none of us knew what it was. So, and then that's pretty much it. And then, like I mentioned, You got your 2 pairs of boots. Like I said, they're nothing fancy, but they are free and they are worth, keeping them until they are completely done. So they still have a lot of more miles left. But other than that, that is my entire rucksack. That is the rest of my stuff that I was able to get issued. All this stuff is pretty much mine. This is the stuff that I'm going to have to unpack, and then I'm going to have to repack certain other things for my drill for this month in January of 2023. And as of right now, I just know I'm going to have to take my PT uniforms, my OCPs, so obviously that's going to include my boots, and then certain other items such as hygienes, because it's only drill weekend's only 1 night, 2 days, and then that's pretty much it. But before I did all that, I wanted to make this video, be able to go through the remainder of my items and equipment with you guys, so that way you guys know what to expect. And please, like I said, let me know what other videos you would like me to make. Right now, I'm still in the early process in my OCS program. I was told that I will possibly be doing OCS in February, but I'm not positive yet. I'll get back to you guys on that after my drill weekend next week. As of right now, all I know is for this upcoming drill weekend for January, I will be doing a lot of paperwork. As you saw, I do already have paperwork going right now. But like I said, shoot me a message, comment down below. I'll be glad to get back to you guys, give you guys more input on my experience, show you guys whatever you guys need. Like I said, I'm open to any discussions or anything that you guys would like to know. For me, I did get quite a few advice from my colleagues as a police officer, from my buddies that were either former, retired, or still currently in the reserves. I went guard. That was my option. And there's so many other branches out there. I currently still have friends that are, Army, Army, Air Force, Navy. So, feel free to reach out and let me know what other videos you would be interested in. And I'm willing to share my experience. But please share your experience if you've already gone through BCT. If you're going through OCS or you've already gone through OCS, please drop down that comment down below. And I would like to hear from you guys. So that way, we're helping out each other. I know going through, the military process, sometimes it's pretty difficult. It's a struggle. But, being able to have that assistance and experience and being able to help each other out and, being able to make the military stronger and, being able to help everyone out that wants to succeed in the military. But other than that, please, like I said, drop down your comment and we'll get back to you guys. And then I'll shoot my next video soon on whatever you guys like me to talk about. So other than that, take care, guys.